Did someone just say 8K? I just bought a 4K. What happened to 5K, 6K, and 7K? Welcome to 10-Minute Tech Tips, an HCTC podcast of mostly opinionated commentary with hopefully some actual helpful tidbits tossed in. I am your host, Kerry Sutton, and most of these opinions and experiences are my own. Back in March, as the COVID-19 virus hit the Texas Hill Country, we had to shut down our Lunch and Learn program. We started podcasting as a way to still connect with as many people as possible. At the end of the podcast, I'll give you an email address where you can ask questions or send ideas for future shows. I encourage you to reach out to us if you would like. Okay, so 8K TVs. I saw these at a Consumer Electronics show a couple years ago, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. Now that was those were concept TVs. Those were not designed to be sold at that moment. It's been 4 or 5 years ago. Today they are on the street and they're ready to be sold. So what exactly is 8K? Well, it deals with the number of pixels across each line that paints on your TV. Now, I've watched video after video trying to become an expert so I could explain, 1080p and then 4K, 8K, and so on. And I'm just as confused now as I was when I started. I know what it means, but as far as trying to explain all the pixels and everything, I'm going to leave you to your own to go to watch a YouTube video to figure all the stuff out, because I can't draw the lines in the air and tell you all about it. So basically your 1080p TV, let's consider that like a 2K TV. And so then we doubled in size and we went to 4K, and now we're doubling again, going to 8K. And then there's speculation that down the road the 8 will double to a 16. However, that's not fully confirmed yet. So what does all this mean? Well, did you ever take a picture with a Chromie camera and then you try to blow it up to like 2 feet by 3 feet and it just got all blurry? Well, that's essentially the same type principle. If you take something that doesn't have a lot of pixel density and then you blow it up, it just looks bad. Well, same way, if you take something high density and you crush it down, it's not going to look better. So if you look at your cell phone, you can have all the resolution you want, but there comes a point where it's just not going to get any better because the screen is so small. Well, today people are buying larger and larger TV sets, and so as the TVs get bigger and those pixels get further and further apart from each other, the pictures can become blurry. They can get pixelated, if you will, and that just means you can see the individual pixels. Years ago, if you went to go look at a regular CRT TV screen, you could see the red, green, and blue squares on your TV set. You could see red, green, blue all the way across, and you could see that. I know I watched TV a lot closer than I should have when I was growing up, so I saw those little pixel points. Well, now as an adult, I sit where you're supposed to, wherever it is, on the couch or in my chair, and so I don't see those tiny pixels anymore, so it's not that big of a deal until you start to blow up that TV. Blow up, maybe I should say, get a larger size. Years ago, a large TV was like a 27-inch. I remember when I got a 27-inch TV, I thought that was huge. And then from there, I went to like a 40-inch high-definition screen, and that was great compared to the 27-inch. Now, I think one I have in my living room is a 70-inch, and it looks fantastic. Well, it's a 4K TV, so if I had taken the resolution that I had on that 1080p TV and then I expanded the screen to 70-inch, it would have looked bad. You would have seen all the little pixels and you would have said, something's not right. Well, that's just like taking that negative of a picture, or even at the picture itself, and you blow it up and you're like, I don't know, this doesn't look as good when it's 4 feet wide than it as good as it did when it was only 4 inches wide. And that's because of the pixels. Well, I have listened to a handful of videos, or listened to them and watched them on YouTube, And the guys, the experts, quote unquote, they all seem to disagree. There's even one video I just watched, and I think the guys were set up, but the 8K TV they said looked worse than the 4K TV. So let me cut right to the heart of the matter on the TV. Right now, this is not one of those things that I think you want to buy online. This is something you want to go into a store, even if you go into like a Walmart, because they have just tons of TVs and you can look at them. But there are some specialty TV stores. We have some in the Kerrville area, and I know that, of course, the larger cities will have specialty tech stores, or you can go to a Best Buy or something like that where they may have 30 TVs on the wall, and you really just have to look and see what you like. This one YouTube video that I'm watching here, the guy talks about how much he preferred his 1080p TV set over his 4K. Now, I can't agree with that. There's no way. I've got both, and I'm never gonna prefer anything over that. My 4K TV is just gorgeous. So I don't know. Maybe the content he's watching looks better on his smaller set, on his lower resolution than it does a bigger. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff at play that maybe we're not going to know what the answer to it is. So I'm just going to say, if you're in the market for a TV, go someplace, look at them, see what the resolution is, and the size. Maybe you've never thought about a 70-inch TV. Maybe that's just way too big. But I don't know if you watch a lot of TV or if you want to start watching TV. We're all at home now more than we used to be. And to be quite honest, there's a lot of excellent content that's out there that you can stream to your TV, and it's shot in ultra high definition or an HDR, a high dynamic range in 4K, and it looks fantastic. So if you're looking at a TV, and especially a big one, go to a store, look at the screens, see what you like, and pick something that as soon as you get it home, you're going to be, this is exactly what I want. Don't just pick something that's got the cheapest price and then you ship it home, and of course you hope it gets there in one piece. And then you open it up and you're like, oh, if I'd only gone with this vendor or that vendor. Don't do that. We keep TVs a long time nowadays, or at least a lot of people keep TVs a long time. And so buy something you like, buy something you want to watch, buy something that the whole family can all get together. Maybe it's a football game at Thanksgiving, or a Christmas movie, or something like that. Something that people want to watch. Spend your money wisely. Find something that's good. As always, I always encourage you to go to YouTube, do a search for an 8K TV if you're looking for a new set, or 4K, or do a search for 4K versus 8K. Get lots of opinions. Don't try to be an expert, and don't ask somebody like us to be an expert, because we use these and we know a lot about them. But at the end of the day, you have to make the decision of what looks better for you. What do you prefer? What do you like? What does your family like? And what fits your needs? And if you want to hang it on the wall, or you want to set it on the TV, see, just a lot of things to talk about. But for me in my house, I'm gonna want to buy an 8K TV as soon as I can afford one in the budget. I can just tell you that's the way it is, regardless of what they say here on YouTube. Is now the right time to do that? Answer is probably no. I would let the price fall, drop a little bit, and I would let the technology start to replicate more and more. And then also the technology of the content. You want Netflix, and you're going to want Hulu, and your Amazon Prime Video. You want these guys to produce content in 8K, so the TV is ready to go when you bring it in. Yes, I know the TVs will upscale lower quality content. I get all that, but buy a TV that will play the technology how it's filmed. Some things are being filmed in 8K, but the majority of things are filmed in 4K today. Okay, probably told you more than you want to know, or more than you care. I would encourage you, go to YouTube, go do some research, and then go to a big box store and see what the TVs look like. And I wish you the best. I hope you find a great TV. and appreciate you joining us today. Hey, thanks for joining us today. If you'd like to contact us, use the email podcast@hctc.net. You can send questions or comments, or maybe even some suggestions for something we can talk about on a future show. We really do appreciate you joining us. That being said, our lawyers have some things they want you to know. This podcast should not be copied, distributed, published, or reproduced either in whole or in part without the express written consent of HCTC. Any inquiries relating to the podcast should be directed to the Manager of Community Relations at podcast@hctc.net. Thanks again for joining us.